Hey there, so update number 2, starting prolotherapy for my sacroiliac joint laxity or dysfunction. I call it a few different things: hypermobility, general pain and nuisance issue that I've had probably since my pregnancy, which was 17 years ago. And my first video on this was a bit of an epic long one of before, straight after, and a little bit later in the day from my first trial of prolotherapy, which for me was glucose injections plus anesthetic. That was 3 weeks ago, my very first one. 2 weeks ago, I had second lot of injections, so we are 1 week after the second injections. And I wish I could say that it was just as fabulous as the first lot. The first lot, I felt great basically the whole first week. Kind of no pain the whole time. And in the second week, before the second lot of injections, just niggles of pain. And so I wish I could say that it was blissful, just as blissful this second time around. But whatever reason, and not knowing is the hardest part. I really want to understand exactly every, twinge in my body. I think those of you who've had sort of this kind of complex pain problem, chronic pain, I think you'll relate to the challenge to make sense of it and to understand and to try, because understanding gives us some sense of control over the pain. And when we know what to do, what not to do, to get the best outcome, that would be ideal. But there's this place of not knowing, and it's really quite challenging. I'm going to try and keep this short. I feel like there probably is a lot I could say, and maybe it will be interesting, but it's my dinner time, so I'm away for the night. I'm not at home. And I'm feeling like it's dinner time, but I wanted to do this while I've got some natural light here. And I'm really aware that my hair seems fluffy. Why does my hair seem fluffy? So I do have some notes to help me out. I like to keep track of details. So I've told you the first time, I wasn't entirely sure. I got it a bit wrong. The first time he injected 6 mils to my right sacroiliac joint, or the ligament, that because it's a ligament joint, bone to bone, joined by ligament, injection goes into the ligament, and that was 6 mils the first time on the right side. This one time it was 10 mils on the left and then 10 mils on the right. And definitely noticed the fullness of injecting that much liquid into the area, and then it does stimulate inflammation. So one of the things they say you'll feel, and I read this when I was researching beforehand, is you feel the fullness of it, and it can be sore, the pressure on it, and it was annoying. Like afterwards, I'm trying to lie down, recline, like relax the area, but pressure on it was painful. Being at a funny angle was painful, and pressure on that spot was painful. So I was kind of experimenting with positions and cushions and being a bit more upright and then sliding down flat to be flatter, and that kind of cushioning around the area so it wasn't so much pressure directly on the area. I did that day a week ago now. I took, as the anesthetic was wearing off, I did take pain relief. It wasn't really painful. I just kind of wanted to keep the pain where it wasn't distressing me, keeping my chill level good by just 1 tablet of pain relief. And then about 3 hours after, and then another one just before bed, because the pain level was pretty mild by then, but I didn't want to be kept awake feeling it anyway. So I'll preserve my sanity with a good night's sleep. So yeah, interesting. This is my last point I've made to tell you. During the injection, I could feel it more on the left side, which I know from getting other injections, it just is kind of chance whether you're nearer to a nerve or not nearer to a nerve. And so I think he was a bit nearer to a nerve. I was feeling a bit more achy as he was doing the injection. And at one point, he got a sudden sharp twinge down my right side, which he noticed because they like twitched and I think made a sound. And he said, the doctor asked me straight away, where was that? I said, down the right side. And he said, and you can't feel it now? And I said, correct. It was just momentary. So he told me the previous week to expect that kind of thing. He said, dull pain is normal, sharp pain, you let me know straight away. It's worth putting on the record that we did get that one twinge, which is kind of worrying because nobody wants nerve damage, which I have had nerve damage from here, this patch of skin here, from having my wisdom teeth out. I had nerve damage. It was totally numb for a while. And now, even ages later, like 12 years later, it still doesn't feel quite the same. It took a long time for feeling to come back. So really don't want nerve damage. But anyway, I don't think I don't know what the odds are. Yep, but that just happens. And it was harmless, even though I was slightly worried. What's he done? Is this going to be a lasting issue? Anyway, so we press ahead. And I know that's the case. We're in the middle zone of not knowing a great deal. Kind of hard place to be. Still in the phase, what they call honeymoon period, first 1 to 2 weeks after prolotherapy, where it feels fabulous, but that's the temporary effect of the healing phase when there's a lot of inflammation in the area, and then you wait and see what the lasting benefits are. So this time around I've got a 3-week gap till my third treatment, so I'll get a bit more of a sense of the long-term change in the next 2 weeks. Third treatment, then again wait again through the honeymoon period into long-term and see. In the meantime, I'm left kind of balancing how much to rest and how much to move, and it's really hard, which I've recognized is a thing when you've had chronic pain and chronic fatigue. Trying to find a balance of rest and activity is quite a challenge because you can get scared. I know I have been daunted, not wanting to push myself too far. I don't want to bring on fatigue. I don't want to bring on pain. So it's really tricky to find the balance because you can rest too much and be underactive and get more pain from that. And so with the pain I did have, I'm kind of paying attention to the pain. Where is it? What kind of pain? I do have a pain tracker I'm using, which I do think is a good idea. It gets a bit of a record in my phone so that I can do comparisons, accurate comparisons, because memory sometimes tricks us. And lost my train of thought. I was saying about pain tracking, paying attention to the pain. And so with this pain, I realized, hang on, this pain is not at the joint where the injections were, where I do sometimes get the burning pain. Because that concerns me more. Burning pain at the joint concerns me more. This was muscle pain. So I realized, actually I was pressing. I thought, okay, I have tender spots, so I'm pressing, trying to get a feel of the area and not be scared to touch it, but learn about the area. And I realized that some of the pain I had was just above the sacroiliac joint where you have the lumbar vertebrae. I believe it's L4, L5, and then the sacrum below that. And the pain was just next to. So I don't entirely know what that means, but I thought, okay, well, at least the pain's not right at the sacrum. And then other pain I had was around the top of the glutes area. And I know those muscles have gotten tight and have been tight for a long time. They've also been weak. And so I thought, okay, I clearly need to look after these muscles a little more. So I have ordinary tennis ball, which is good because it's really squishy, and then a firmer massage ball or trigger point ball, which is really not squishy, although it comes in a set of 3, and this is the squishiest of the 3. And so I just kind of place those under a spot, rest on it, I can moderate how much weight I put on the spot, can move a little, just rest there, give it, 30 to 60 seconds and let the pain ease, and that's free compared to paying for a massage, which I do plan to do. I have a massage booked for about 10 days from now with a sports massage specialist. I want to see someone who can kind of poke around and tell me what's going on in that area. Get some expert opinions on tight spots and sore spots and lumps. And I know they say that they've pointed out to me trigger points I have, and I'm learning that kind of they don't go away by themselves. So you've got to work on those trigger points to clear them out. And that's the first thing to do with looking after muscles. So I will say goodbye for now. I'm sure we'll get a part 3 of this, maybe before next injections or maybe after the next injections. Alrighty. Me thumbs up if this is helping you. Leave comments below. I'd love to hear your journey. Bye.